Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Johnson Sakaja, the Nairobi governor, is in big dilemma because of the pressure coming from the UDA wing as far as the mass action is concerned. And I've been trying to follow this story for quite some time, and I find it a bit not right to narrow down the mass action to Johnson Sakaja utterances. When he called for a talk between Raila and William Ruto, of course we saw both sides reacting to it, with some village senators, sorry to use that word, like Samson Cherargei, oblivious of the fact that this is the capital city, attacking Sakaja because he's saying that Sakaja should just go and have a talk with Raila since he works with Azimio in Nairobi. But then Sakaja was speaking in the context of Nairobi. And that was really perceived as, that was a very good approach, because he was speaking about what can happen if things go wrong in Nairobi. But then leaders who are a little bit self-centered did not look at it in terms of Nairobi, and they looked at it in terms of Nandi. In fact, if things are to go wrong, the Nandi counties will not have any problem. But when Sakaja spoke, because he is the governor of the capital city of Nairobi, he was really attacked. Now, since he brought up that discussion, he's been pushed to the wall. And reportedly, Sakaja is under pressure from the ranks and file in the political leadership of the country to ban Azimio mass action in the guise of protecting businesses. Those who are telling him, when he called for a talk between Raila and William Ruto, are telling him that as a city governor, he needs to ban. And just like, I think even Sonko tried it. I think that was Sonko tried it. He needs to ban those demonstrations because according to him, according to the leaders, that is the only way he will issue a presser and say that he wants to protect the business interest in Nairobi. The other school of thought is that there seems to be a demand for him to take a strong position against Azimio's mass action targeting Nairobi to protect his county and say that perhaps what is happening, what Azimio is doing and Oduor is targeting to do in Nairobi is not that William Ruto was not just elected in Nairobi, it is the whole country. And that strategy should not really should not really be allowed. It is very tricky call, since he's also been put to the corner that when things go wrong, they will blame him for siding with Azimio and working with Azimio for destruction of other people's businesses. In fact, the business community discussion that we once had in this country is back that he needs to protect the businesses of people in Nairobi. And if that happens, then the reality here is that they can turn the sword against him and say that he's siding with Raila and does not look at the business interests of the people in Nairobi. Remember, this is a battle that he has really fought for quite some time. And he's on record telling Rigathi that he's a deputy president and is beyond bound Kenya, and Kenya needs him all through. But then the DP also has been trying to brand Rigathi as a man who is not keen on protecting business interests of Gema. It is a very tricky call, since he is working with the Azimio faction in the county assembly of Nairobi, and I think many people are not feeling comfortable by the fact that he's actually working with the Azimio camp. However, he seems to have rejected those calls and is not very active, not proactive in terms of even calling that presser. And we're really looking at how this will turn up. So in this analysis, I want us to just break it down, why Sakaja cannot really turn his back from the Azimio wing. It's very difficult for him. It's not a very easy decision to make. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. Thank you very much for those who are supporting us from different parts of the world. Thank you very much. I don't take your support for granted. We do this each and every day for you. For those who can support us financially, I've pinned the number there. Now, there is something that Sakaja understands. Nairobi's vote basket as we speak now, without Uhuru Kenyatta in the picture, majority of that vote lies with Raila Odinga. The ODM wing, because, and that is there is a voting constituency that Rigathi has been trying to pull, but don't think he has demonstrated the power to marshal votes on the Kikuyu platform, to marshal the game of votes. I am not saying that, and even with the latest development on, I saw the China Square, which he tried to mobilize the gamers, a community around it, but it backfired because we all know that China Square is going on and the businesses are going on. The issue of chasing hawkers had been a very contentious issue within the CBD, but also Sakaja in his own wisdom have returned hawkers in Nairobi. So because most of these hawkers are the ones that are normally on the other side of the road, the river road, and they've been brought back to CBD. So which that means that what was the narrative of not really Sakaja not really winning the vote of Gema, or not winning only winning the vote of Gema through Rigathi, in future might be very blunt. But as we speak today, the voting constituencies in this Nairobi is in Kibera, the Mathare, Mukuru kwa Ruben, the Kawangwares, in those places. That's where the vote is. The other places where bit of there is this, bit of that middle class, there is no votes in those places. So, and if you look at those areas I've counted for you, you'll realize that Raila Odinga would enjoy a more massive support from that place. I can tell you that even in this channel, if we were to do a random survey on just how many people voted for Sakaja, and just find out someone who voted for Raila and Sakaja too, you will find out that there are quite a number of people that were in Azimio, but they voted for Sakaja. You will understand. And it's because, and I normally maintain that the person that made Sakaja governor was Uhuru Kenyatta. Because the moment Uhuru Kenyatta they refused that ODM was not going to field a candidate as a governor in Nairobi, that's the moment they lost it. And the only person that could fight Sakaja was Tim Wanyonyi. So that's one thing that Sakaja understands. That even the Cherargei and the other politicians will not want to look at, then they will want also to have a stake. But the Kalenjin doesn't have a big following here. The vote basket is not that strong. Number two, with the previous altercations with Rigathi Gachagua and the UDA ranks and file, there is a high possibility that in 2022, Rigathi plotting for Ruto, 2027, Rigathi plotting for Ruto succession would actually insist of having a Kikuyu to vie as a governor here in Nairobi. I'm not a prophet, but I'm making that projection. The likelihood of Rigathi Gachagua insisting that Sakaja should not fly the UDA ticket in 2027 is very high. It can be sugar-coated with many other reasons, or even talk about competence or failing to deliver, and many other factors can be brought forth to make sure that Sakaja is denied that UDA ticket. And it's simple. You can even throw them into some sort of nomination. And through the nomination, you rig out this person because, again, Sakaja is seen as a man that can go beyond just the Nairobi governor. And in fact, having been a Nairobi governor, and with the sober mind that he has tried to project in public, maybe is really sober, true, they may not call it projection. He's seen as a man that will throw himself and will be a big factor when Ruto transition is coming. So with that, Sakaja seems to have seen very well that all is not casted on stone. You can run back to Azimio. Lastly, there have been other threats of impeachment, and if you look at, I think twice, some UDA MCAs in Nairobi have always called a press briefing and threatened that they're going to impeach. Now, even if Ruto will feel uncomfortable with Johnson Sakaja, but with Azimio backing in the county assembly and in the Senate, no such impeachment can be effected. So that's also it. You must know this is politics. Today, Sakaja cannot come out and ban Azimio rallies and try to go hard and strong on them, because the next day you don't know that this is politics, and politics only interests will change and then everything changes. Tomorrow you realize that, look here, this Raila Odinga and William Ruto are speaking in the same language, and William Ruto wants you out of office. Or together, Yashago have now converged and wants you out of office. What are you going to see? There's going to be a total difference in the way things are being done. So he must also play his card very careful, and according to me, that probably is a factor on table. Let's meet in the next.